wish all the mothers today, even as we are still celebrating the Mother's Day, we wish you Mother's Day so that mothers should continue actually making legacy, also keeping the children well, teaching them. Mothers play a very good role, especially in parenthood.
Yes,
you see,
it's true.
because when a child when a child is growing up, you find that a child will be more clave, will actually clave more to the mother than the father, and I don't know why it usually happens like that. Yes.
The love for our mothers is unconditional.
That's true.
It's a mother, you find that some situation that happens in the home, a child will do something wrong, and the mother will be there, say, no, this is what you're doing is not good.
Yes.
And again, the same mother will come and report to the father. When the father gets upset, wants to beat the child, the mother again will be there again to want to stop again. There are people that would get upset for a short period of time. Again, they'll start now regretting, say, but why did I even tell his father that he did this?
Yes.
Again, he should be there again to support. So you start wondering, but this is the same person that came to report. Again, she's the one defending.
Yes.
Then what was the whole instance of you coming to report? Our mothers, their love is unconditional. Sometimes you feel like
yes.
they are hating you, but just depending on the situation, you find that they're just upset. Something has happened, but you from their reaction, you tell that, okay, these people, they're not ready to do this, but because of it just happened, they just have to do it.
Yes. Speaking into that, mothers are so emotional.
Yes.
If you are to say so, yes, they are so emotional and they are so caring. Yes. You find that there are those mothers, especially there are those mothers who are a little bit discipline their children in case maybe the child does something bad, they will be able to discipline. But at the same time as they are disciplining the child, you see the mother will still be feeling pain on behalf of the child. No wonder you find that maybe the mother would tend to protect the child. But as fathers, the way we are men, we are different, because the way we think, men, we are more of logical, and when we see women are more of emotional. So for us, it's logical, where we would want to discipline a child even if a child has made a mistake. It's in us. I was watching a video where I saw a certain father, a man, he had a child. So that child, actually, they were moving along the way. As they were moving along the way, there was more like a step where you have to jump. Then this child, the child was just about 2 years old. So when the father was moving, what happened is that the father jumped and he left the child alone. Then the child was moving, was waiting, maybe the father will come back and lift and lift to help the child and lift the child so that the child can actually cross. Yes, but the father looked, you know what he did? He just went ahead and he sat down and he started looking at the child to see what the child would do. Yes, then as the minute passed by, I saw the child was trying to jump. I saw the child was trying to do this. I saw the child was trying to do this. Then within few minutes, then the child, just something, intuition, just something just came in his mind that, let me just walk through down. Then I climb up. I think that's how I'll cross. That's how the child actually went down the slope. Then the child climbed up. Then that's how the child actually crossed. You see, but if it was mothers would actually carry the child and make sure that put the child on the other side. How we train our children, especially when it comes to fatherhood and motherhood, it's really different because of how men we are. Men particularly, we are hunters. Yes, we are hunters, so we want our children to learn in a hard way.
Actually, I just wanted to say, you find that when it comes to parenting, there are two ways of parenting.
Yes.
The mother will always show the love, the caring, just be there for the child, do everything for the child. But as fathers, you find that us who teach a child how to survive, we don't necessarily give a solution to a child.
Yeah, that's true.
We would even create a problem deliberate to see what the child will do if they are going to make up a solution. That's what we do. Yeah, in many cases, when you find you have left the children with the fathers, you find that whatever they are doing, it will be something that is of risk. But they're going to be risky, but at the end of the day, you find that child will pick something there. It's something like a pathway, a struggle, like a challenge where if I, like the example that you have given, where you have left the child to see what will happen if you're not there. If something bad is to happen, how are they going to survive? So you find that us fathers, we prepare children for a better tomorrow.
Yes, we prepare them for the future.
Yes, but our parenting, you find that they would focus on the discipline, make sure the child is doing well in school, bathing, there's no vulgar language, you know. Our mothers focus on that, but us, would even get a small child, start teaching them how to drive. That's a risk. You see, we'll get a small child and we'll giving them a hard job, teaching them how to cook, teaching them how to dig. You know, we'll teach them a lot of hard jobs
maybe,
at
Mr.
early
Mike,
age.
maybe just to in supporting of the mothers, like us fathers, the way we are. Don't you think at times we are too extreme in doing some certain things?
Yeah,
like
sometimes. Yeah, sometimes some they would even go as far, but it's the whole point is that let's just train our children to survive, how to survive. In case today mom and dad leaves the world, how are they going to survive tomorrow? So that's one thing that we should train the child to depend on their own, not to depend on someone. People that depends on their own, most of them, they rarely succeed in life. Unless when you train a child to, like me, I used to stay with my auntie. Yes, I used to stay with my auntie in Chainda.
Okay.
She was very tough at home.
Okay.
There was nothing like in the mamona penzi vakazi panyumba, like 3 of them.
Yes.
Then penzi namuna my guys vaviri. So I find that when it's time for working, cooking, it was both of us. Like there was nothing like in the mamona or chan. No. We used to cook. You find that if it's your duty, you're cooking offers, you just have to prepare offers. Really? You have to find a way how to do that. So there was nothing like pepe mukazi, siningapike even vavakazi. No, we used to do everyone's job. Ngati nikwenda kutapa manzi once wakazi na muna go and fetch water. If it was cooking, sweeping, me I used to wake up early in the morning. If it was my day to clean, I used to go to school. By then I was in grade 12. So I find that I wake up at 05. I'll clean, I'll wash the plates, I'll clean the house, I'll clean the surrounding, I'll fetch water, I'll bath, I'll go to school. There was nothing like an excuse. She used to teach us, say, you don't give an excuse. Anything that you can do, there's still a solution that you can still find.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So there are those people that will tell you, say, I've come late to school because I was at home, I was cleaning. She never taught us to be that. She used to teach us, say, you need to leave the right things at home. To school, you need to present it well again. You need to be the first one to be in school. So me, I used to wake up cleaning at home, and I say again, becoming the first student at the whole school at school. So she used to train us to be disciplined, to be well, to not to give an excuse to something. A lot of people find that they'll be asking, why have you come late? Those are ladies now, maybe girls in schools. Then those kids will be like, my aunt made me to sweep while I was still coming to school. So those are excuses that people used to give in life. But you know, at any challenge, any problem, there's a solution that our mothers will still keep. I usually thank her whenever I sit down and say, if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here, because she trained me to not to give an excuse. Whenever a problem comes, I need to find a solution that will support every part accordingly.
Yeah, that's true. Like you have mentioned, it's very true. Mothers, they play a very important role, especially in raising the child. Yes, even when we are talking about building legacy, legacy does not just start there. Legacy is not just about success. You know, success is temporal. But when we are talking about legacy, legacy is something that lives on. So the question that we must ask, especially to mothers and fathers, is what legacy are you leaving for your children?
Like just the one that I've just given. She left the legacy.
Yeah, that's true. That's the legacy.
Yes, because whenever I sit down, but that woman, she did well. If it wasn't for her, because all my friends that I used to found with Muchainda Mkomboni, all of my friends, most of them are cousins na wamuna. Some are bus conductors, some are just junks, some are just drinking anyhow, some are married this time, they have 3 or 4 kids that are my age. You see, so if she didn't teach me well, good manners, good morals, how to respect people, I wouldn't be here. But because she taught me how to fight, you know, she taught me resilience. Say, my child, in life is not as easy as you would think. When you just born, you find there's food, there's breakfast, there's home. She started telling me, no, us the time at our time, there was no food. Our parents would go the whole day to go and work just for a single meal. When you eat shima a day, You have to thank God for that.
Okay, yeah.
Yes, some would just cook chihuahua chija. Boiling she would fakamo salt. Mambo somewhere just like that, that's a meal. That's how they used to survive. But us, we had a privilege of them having that hard working and making a better future for us. So that had left us say, okay, also you don't rely on what we have here. Make your own way. Most of my siblings and the elder siblings that were the eldest, find that most of them were being pushed to go to the university, go to the college, but most of them they just they were not putting more effort. Yeah, they were thinking that life is like things are just on the silver plate, they're just coming. But time goes by, things change, people dies. So when someone who is supporting you dies today, who is going to take you to the university?
Yes.
So she was like, no, my child, whenever you find an opportunity, grab it. She told me, say, whenever you find an opportunity, whether it's what you want to be, or it's not what you want to be, but if something that would support you, something that would make you build yourself to be somewhere there. For instance, for me, I never dreamed to be a mechanic. But she told me when an opportunity came for mechanic to be sponsored by Siders, she said, my child, come. Siders are sponsoring youths here. Be one of them. Yes. Do something, a skill, something that you earn something at the end of the day, because you can't well say you want to become a journalist. There's no one to sponsor to take you to university to do journalism. That's how I went there to do mechanics. I started doing mechanics until I graduated. From there, I started working as a mechanic in my garages. I worked at Tip Top Motors. Okay. So from there, I learned that if it wasn't for her to encourage me to do things, a skill, any opportunity that comes, to grab it, I wouldn't be here, because mothers, they'll prepare you for a better tomorrow also, because whenever there comes an opportunity, they make sure that you are there, and their aim is that not to leave you to be a beggar in the future. No, so mothers, they feel bad when they see a child who is asking, like when you notice most of the mothers, when they find out that the child was asking for something from maybe a relative or a neighbor, they will beat them.
Yes, true, they do that.
Yes, why do they beat us? It's because they want us to be independent. They're training us, saying, my child, if today there's no food at home, don't go at the neighbor's house to eat.
Yeah, sure.
Tomorrow you have your own food. So they're preparing us, if today I want to get a job, tomorrow I'll get my own job. So we don't have to interfere in people's things. They are preparing us to be people of independent. That's why this is the legacy that's our mothers have built in us. The legacy that our parents are building in us is not the legacy of them living cars, living a house, living plots. No, it's living us in a way where if today they exit the world, we'll be able to live according, and we'll be able to unite and to keep our siblings. That's the legacy. One is the love. Two, discipline. When you are disciplined, even the money that you are going to have, even the things that are going to do for you, you keep them well, because they are disciplined. They've taught you discipline. Discipline is legacy. Yes, love is legacy. Unity, just how to live your siblings is legacy. That's love. Love is not something that we can just say love. No, but it has to be shown in action. We say love. It's what? It's a doing. It's a doing word, it's a verb. So we need to show it not by saying I love you, Pastor Shepherd, but my conduct to you should show that I love you. That's legacy. Yes. So if I show love to you, even if you go somewhere very far, people will treat you in a different way. And you say, that's a good, I used to stay away with Mr. Mike. And you would discover that, we had a good legacy with Mr. Mike. Mr. Mike showed me love. He left a good legacy. You'll be even citing me, say, that time I had this person in life, used to behave this and that. That's legacy.
Okay, so I would love us to discuss maybe, I know soon we'll be fathers. We are going to have our own family. Maybe what are some of the things from our experience that, even from your experience, that you would love to teach your children, like the legacy, how you love to be to raise your children? What are some of the things that you would love your children to learn from, like?
All right. So as for me, for my children, one thing that I would want my children to do, first thing, they should be a God-fearing children.
Okay.
First thing, they should be a God-fearing children. The children should fear God. They should know God. Secondly, they should be children of respect. They should respect the world, the people, and everyone around the world. Because if you don't respect people around you, or your parents, your siblings, which means even people come in a different way. And when someone would just come in a grumpy clothing, and maybe they're just testing you, and if you don't give respect to them, you lose an opportunity. Then two, they should be children of discipline. I want my children to be disciplined. There are children that I teach at church. I usually admire them. I usually pray for them every time I see them. I pray for their parents. I just get inspired when I see these children. There are 4 of them.
Okay.
They were raised very well, Pastor Shepherd.
Wonderful.
Other children will be doing different activities. They will have respect for the elders, for everyone at church. Even the way they speak, for you to see that this person has respect, do bad to them. Just do something bad to them. That's when you'll be able to say, oh, this child has respect. The way they're going to respond to you. I've seen other children that I teach, same children, 5 years, 6 years, 7, 12, 14. You find that certain parent to another leader will come and do a bad thing to them. They start shouting, screaming, saying bad words. But these other children that I know, their parents did a good job. They are so disciplined. They have respect, discipline. They are very intelligent. Their parents always, they focus them to study hard. They are very intelligent. When you give them a poem today, that's a girl that was 6 years. When you give her a poem today, she will master it. And the parents at home, they are going to help her. So one thing that I'll be doing, I've also coped, because from what I'm teaching and from what I'm seeing from the world and what other parents are doing, my children will be also intelligent. I want my children to be intelligent. I want to be a father that will be there for the children. Say, come here, sit down. Here it's supposed to do. Here it's supposed to work like this and like that.
Yeah.
Here you don't do this. On my own, yes, I'll take my children to a school, to church. But as a parent, me also, I have a law to pray as a father, to be with my children, to tell them this is what you're supposed to do. This is not this one you're not supposed to do. This is ABCD. This is how you're supposed to live with the family. You teach your children how to live with the family. For instance, if today I die, you'll be kept by someone. You don't have to rely on someone's legacy or someone's wealthy. For instance, there are other children whereby they're orphans and they're being kept with the other parents, and they want to be kept equal with those biological children to the person that are keeping them. But me, I was trained not to be equal. Me, even if they bring me, the aunt maybe wants us to be equal, they want to treat us equal. But me myself, I that resistance.
Yes. Like you have mentioned, I also think like raising the way I would raise my children, I would love my children to be hunters.
Yes.
Not people who just love things coming on the silver plate, like you just give them. Yes, I would love them to be hunters, because as a father, you will not be with them forever.
Yes.
Yes. So I think for me, I would love to prepare my children for the future. Yes, they shouldn't entirely depend on me, especially even as young as they are. They have to be hunters. Those are some of the things like I was taught when I was young. Yes, I was taught to be a hunter. I was taught whereby you have to look for your own money. Even if my father had money, at times he would say, I don't have money. No, I'm asking for money for me. I want to go and cut my hair. And my father would say, no, I don't have money. But you see, your father is working. He gets a good salary. He's an accountant. Then he says he doesn't have money. So I was trained in such kind of a way whereby, and I really appreciate it, because if I was one of those lazy boys who are just given food, just feeding them, I wouldn't even be the person who I am today. But I really appreciate, because I was taught to be a hunter. So I would also love the same thing where my children, they are taught to be a hunter. And also risk taking.
Risk takers, right?
Yes, they have to make sure they are risk takers. They make sure they do some risk. If a child, for example, someone said that how you teach a child is by when when a child has an experience. And that one psychologically is true, because when a child has done something and then bad has happened to a child, yes, psychologically it remains in the mind forever. For example, a child, you have told a child, you don't touch don't use a knife. Hey, you cut yourself. You cut yourself. You have actually taught that child not to use a knife to cut themselves. You find a child is busy playing with a knife, or maybe it's on the plug, or maybe the power, the electricity is on. You have told the child, don't do this, don't do this. You find a child who keep on, because children are so curious. They are so curious. They want to touch everything. The best way you do if it's not so harmful to them, you leave it at least for some time. When once they get an electrical shock, they will understand. Saying that this thing which I'm doing, next time I shouldn't do it. You see, so at times children, they have to be taught in a way whereby you leave them to do certain things. Then when they experience some certain things, it will remain in their mind. Yes, I remember before I became born again, one of the women that mentored me in my life, she actually taught me, saying that the best thing you can do, for example, if you are a father, you're a mother, you are Christian, you go to church, then your child is hesitating, resisting for him to be committed to the things of God. So what you should do is that don't force a child to be going to church like the way you do. It's very much important to force a child to be going with you to church, teaching them discipline as you are teaching them, but leave a flexible room where a child can also a little bit experience part of the life that a child wants. Yes. Because what happens is that when you force a child to be doing certain things that you want a child to be doing, the child will live a pretense life. They'll be pretending. Yes, with you they are smiling as if they are committed Christian, as if they are doing the things which are light, but aside from you, while they are not on your face, you find that a child is doing opposite the character that is actually in front of you. So there must be room where you live for a child to experience certain things. Then when a child experiences certain things, then a child, you are able, but you are there to guide them, you are there to control them, but you shouldn't really enforce them. So when I talk about risk taking, children must be hunters, those are some of the things that must be actually inflict, especially in the children. Yes, and also,
you have just reminded me where you have just given an example of saying whenever they want to touch something that is danger or something that can hurt them. I've just reminded me of the video that I watched on Facebook. There was this couple.
Yes.
They had a child that put a candle in the house.
Okay.
So that put a candle, then they left almost the 1 month something baby.
Yes.
Not even 2 years. I think that baby was too little. So this baby, after they left the candle, this baby was like trying to switch off the candle.
Oh, yes. Tell me.
So then the mother they now wanted to start touching now to switch it off with the bare hands.
Yes.
The man wanted to rush to stop the child, to get the child from that. Then the father was like, no, wait, leave the child. Then the child was like, the time he just touched, then he was bent here. He cried and he walked away from that. So the father was like, so you have seen from there he has learned you will never go back to the candle. He knows that candle it bends. So when you remove, sometimes as parent, like the way I've said, let's learn to leave the children to have that experience of life, so that next time they do, even if you are there or not there, they don't go back there.
They will not do it.
Yes. So in your presence, if they are there, they want to do it in your presence. Leave them, they do it, then they get a lesson from there. So it's not everything that you tell a child, say this is harmful, this is what. Leave them, then they experience that harmful. Like most especially when it comes to candle, fire and other things. You know Donya.
Yes, they are. I know,
yes,
I know it.
yes. I remember my aunt also. There was a time our siblings, my young siblings, were praying. Then they were praying with plastic. When they started plastic, they start holding it like this. Now it starts dropping. Then my aunt was like, "Stop what you're doing! Stop what you're doing! Stop!" Until now, one time, one of them, after like they pushed each other, then it moved. Now then it said some was dropped here. Then you know how Donya is. When it just drops here, it comes out. So almost everyone from that time, they have never played with Donya. the donya is something that taught a lot of children back days in 1999,
Yes,
2010, 2016. A lot of us there were an experience of donya, and
Yes.
our parents used to stop us. Stop what you're doing. And we had also those mabola we used to make with mpombwa. We used to make them with plastics. We used to get banned from there. We used to be stopped, but this time now we have already said, okay, those things our parents they were teaching us, it was harmful. But if we had continued, Vironda, yeah, we have scars because of that.
Yes, so yes, speaking into that, and then I would love us also to talk about discipline. Discipline a child. What's your take on discipline a child? Do you think discipline is very much important for children? Like, yes, for
Okay, so in starting, the Bible says train out the child in the way you want them to be. That's what the Bible says. So it's up to you. If you want your children to be disciplined, it's you.
Yes.
Discipline, it covers a lot of things.
Yeah, it's many ways.
It's broad discipline. Yes, discipline, you find that even in studying, in time management, in whatever you'll be doing, you have to apply discipline. Yes. If here if we don't have discipline here, would be on the TV the whole day, and other shows will be what? Will be stuck.
Yeah,
because we're not disciplined. But because we are taught how to be disciplined, we'll keep time. Time management to be there. Then other things as a child, when you talk of discipline, it's how you'll be handling things in the house. For instance, there will be sugar, there will be food there. You can't just come and sugar watenga as a child wafika sugar. You know, our parents, they make a budget. Wakagula sugar, they say, okay, funika 2 kg the bunch. It's the whole month. Then you as a child, you is not disciplined. You we used to do that. Utenga spoon, pakwanja. We used to do that. I know maybe you are the victim also. We used to do that, but
yes, the night when everyone is sleeping.
Yes,
you go in the pot,
yes,
steal some meat.
Yes,
you say yes.
So, but
to do that, yeah.
By then we never used to understand that our parents used to make a budget. When they buy the radish, if it's 10 pieces, you had 5 at home. They'll know, okay, these 5 pieces, umoz at lunch. Then also at supper, umoz. Imagine. Mwapika sapa, mwapika 10 pieces, you are 5 of you. Then you have to take per lunch tomorrow, the same radish.
Yes,
then you are sick or you're not disciplined. Watengamo PC mos, which means you'll be forced for the other two to share one. You have seen it. So a disciplined child will take care of the house by taking care of the food, taking care of the things in the house, taking care of your siblings. That's being disciplined. Taking care of the things that they have bought for you. Sometimes they buy shoes for us. And I remember there was those shoes they used to make Kudala school 2006, 2007. They were called Magaragata.
Yes, I know.
Garagata. Those shoes were so strong that yes. So I find that some of us used to think that they never used to love us. Yes, but all along, then your friends, each time they come with new shoes. Then your shoe, 2 years is just standing, it's there. So we thought like they never used to love us. But no, they used to love us.
Yes,
and so as a disciplined child, that shoe, you protect it until your siblings comes and wear it. Yeah. That's a child that is disciplined when it comes to me. Yes. And maybe the other things when it comes to discipline also is accountability.
The child has to be accountable.
Yes, the child has to be accountable.
Yes.
When it comes to money, how do you handle money? When they leave you to make a budget as a child, how do you handle money and change? Sometimes they just leave you, oh, this is a 300 at home, buy things at home. But you, if you are someone that is disciplined, you buy the things, you buy food, and you leave the change even for tomorrow. You know, you need to leave that Kalusi money for vegetables for tomorrow. Vegetables is food that we need to buy today, tomorrow, and the other day. So if you're not disciplined, they've left you the money. And me, my aunt used to get surprised whenever she leaves money for vegetables, bread, and other things. When I buy, there's change, I used to keep. So find that 2 days will pass without me requesting for money for bread and vegetables. So she said, Mr. said, no, I've bought it. Where did you get the money? I said, the other change that I left it, I'd kept it.
Others would buy sweets.
Yes. So that's a discipline. You find that there will be a a lot of money will be kept well because you told the child to be disciplined. Even if you're not there, sometimes parents would leave 2-3 weeks or a month out of the house. Then now you become an eldest, or a month out of the house. Then now you become an eldest child at home, and you're not disciplined. You don't know how to budget. The accountability is not there. You're not disciplined. How are you going to leave the house? If 1 week, if they leave the money for the 3 weeks, you can just squander the money in 1 week and they start starving again.
Yes, I think discipline is very much important. It's very much cardinal, especially when you are raising a child.
Yes.
Discipline a child is not that you don't love a child. Yes, you actually, in fact, those people who discipline children, they love their children more than themselves.
Yes.
Because when you love a child, you discipline a child. Yes, even the Bible says that you do not spare a child. Yes, you have to, if a child has done something wrong, you have to make sure you discipline the child. Like you mentioned about different areas of discipline. You talked of time management. It's very much important, even as parents, as much as their children go to school, they learn whatever they learn from school, but when they come back to home, they need really to be taught how some certain things that they need to do, like the values, character. Those are some of the things that children must learn from home. Yes, discipline, you talk of time. Children must be taught, especially on time, to value time. And also you mentioned of appetite, where children shouldn't eat to extreme. Whereby children are just eating anyhow. You leave a child, no, this one loves eating, no, this one loves eating, no, this one is like this. And when your child now starts having health issues, then you start complaining because you as a parent, you are not disciplining a child enough. So discipline is very much important for us to make sure that we discipline a child, especially in the area of appetite. Yes, in the area of appetite, even when studying, make sure all these areas they are disciplined. Even for me, like my children, I would love them to be disciplined, especially in some of the things that they are doing. You have to discipline them, especially even in the area of relationship. As I remember when I was growing up, my mother, whenever my mother see a new friend of mine comes to home, the first thing my mother will ask me, who is that one? Yes, achokera pa nyumba pa wandani. Who is that one? How did you know? No, it's my friend at school.
From this,
okay, where? How does he do? What? So I was like, why is my mother so spectacle asking about this question? She's busy asking detailed question about my friend. But I later on I came to know that it was for my own benefit. Because my mother never wanted me to associate with people who actually who make me to compromise my faith or my character or some of the things or my belief. Yes, so no wonder she would actually ask those questions, critical questions. Who is this person? Who is that one? Because she wanted me actually to associate, because the people you associate with, you also assimilate with. Association brings assimilation. So you begin to look alike. Some of the things that they are doing, your friends, you also be doing some of those. Someone said that you are the sum total of the 5 friends you hang around with. So
true.
there's 5 friends, those you call your 5 friends, your best friend, 5 of them, you are the sum total of them. You can't say that you are hanging around with a thief and then you don't steal. It's the probability of you stealing may not be there now, but
it will be there.
It will be there because with time, because that person actually is a thief and he will actually teach you. So even as parents, we need to be disciplined, especially teaching our children, and so that our children can actually learn. Yes, can learn, they can know their friend, they can know also how to do certain things. So some of the questions that we would love to ask our viewers who are watching us, especially our parents, is when people mention your name years from now, what will they remember? What will they remember when people mention your name? No, this one is Moses. What will people remember? Especially your children, mothers, fathers, especially your children. What will they remember about you? What are some of the things that will actually recall in their mind? Are they positive things? Will they say, my father used to be a drunkard? When he drinks, he'll come home, he's cut.
Yes. Start beating everyone.
You start beating my mom.
If you're sleeping, wake up.
He used to abuse my mother. And those memories actually, also some of the behaviors that parents portray in front of the children, they actually develop certain personality in children.
Oh yeah, true.
Yes, how the personality of children also is contributed, especially mostly at home.
Oh,
how
yeah.
a child with the personality type is because of the parents have also contributed. So let's make sure that we leave a legacy that actually will benefit our children, not a legacy people say, no, this one used to be a drunkard, no, this one used to be, my father used to be a stingy man, my father used to be, he used to beat a lot of people. So what will they remember you for? As for me, I would love my children actually to remember me a father who was disciplined,
Oh, yeah.
a father actually who left a lot of inheritance for us, who was a businessman, who was a man of God, who taught us, who taught us values, who taught us character, who taught us about management, who taught us a lot of things, so that when children actually remember you for, just in one sentence, what will they remember you for? And the other thing is that what values will remain? What values will remain, especially in your children? What values? Is it discipline, one of values? Is it love? Is it what types of values? Is it integrity? What types of values do you want to live in your children? It all depends on your parenthood, how you are actually parenting them, how actually you are teaching your children. Remember, this week we are actually it's back to school. Schools have opened right now, and we see most children now, they are back in school and and they are being taught by the teachers. So what will they remember you for?
and would like to know from you, our viewers out there, you can just go to our Facebook page, you can just type what you want to live, or what your children want to remember you of. Yeah, the legacy that you leave for children. What are those things? And one thing that I don't miss me.
Yes.
I want children to remember me that my father was a God-fearing person.
Yes.
My father was a businessman. Like
Abraham.
Yes,
Yes.
you need to be a first thing, you need to be a God-fearing person, then you need to be a person that is as wealthy.
Yes.
Then when you marry these two, you're good to go.
Yes,
You'll be given, you leave a good legacy even to churches. You will become a lesson to people. You become the testimony to people. People will be just getting, so that one, because people have that stereotype saying, church, most of them, they're not rich.
Yeah, they have got that still there.
Yes. So, as me, I want to be that person of saying, my father was a very rich man and he was a God-fearing person. These two, they should marry, most especially when I always start all of my things with God. Yeah. So to our viewers there, would want to know what the children will be remembering you of. What legacy or inheritance are you going to leave for the children? So that whenever they say, our mommy, our daddy used to be like this. Whenever they say something to the other or to the other friends, they need to be something that of creditable, things that will inspire someone. Saying, my dad used to be a businessman. My dad used to drive a Land Cruiser. My dad used to have a big farm in Chongwe. Those are things that children will talk about. My father used to preach to people, used to help people, My father used to do this and that good thing that when someone hears will be inspired and become a good product of the world.
Yes. Like we mentioned, let's make sure we do those things. What seeds are you planting today in your children? Anything. It is interesting to know that children learn more in pictures, vividly, the things that they are seeing, more than the things that actually we are teaching them. There are parents who are good in teaching, who are good in doing this. But when you look at a child learns more by the things that he's seen, observation. That's
true.
why you find that a child will observe certain behavior and you'll bring them at home. Even the type of language that a friend was doing, you actually bring them at home. Yes, it's because children learn more by the things they are actually seeing. No wonder when a child, I remember when we were still in baby class, even right now, how the teaching methodology is done is that you find that a child who is young, kindergarten, they are mostly taught in pictures. You find an apple, it's drawn. a banana is drawn. All those things are drawn. Why? It's because children remember things more, the things that they see more than the things that they hear. So even as parents, the things that we are doing in front of our children, they are actually making a huge impact more than the things that actually we are teaching them. Because those things that we are doing, you may teach about, no, let's have a good character, no, let's do these things. But you as a parent, how do you behave whenever you are hanging around your children? How are you behaving? Because we talk about legacies built daily through discipline, which we talked about. Also, we mentioned about character, and also we mentioned about consistency, and also we mentioned about through love and kindness. So let's make sure that even mothers leave a powerful legacy through raising children with value, prayer, wisdom, and also compassion. Yes, you are still watching our morning breakfast show, even as we will be taking a short break. Then coming on the other side, as you'll be joining us, we are going to have new segment and also interesting stories that is happening around the world. We would love you to leave a legacy that will actually outlive you and also outlive your descendant. Stay tuned even as you join us.
My name is Valentine Zamfli from Christ Life School, Head of Department, Secondary Section, and I'm here to talk about the secondary section for Christ Life School. Christ Life School stands on the motto hard work and excellence, which also rides on the vision to teach, to inspire, and acquire excellent education with Jesus Christ at the center. We are a school that believes in Jesus Christ. We are a school that not only focuses on the child in the classroom setup, but we also focus on the child even on how they interact with the society. So we have different extracurricular activities that we are offering as a school, which includes swimming, soccer, aviation, and other activities that we are offering. Not only are we focused on learning in the classroom, we also have different excursions that we take. We do field trips with the learners, go to different places because we understand that they need to learn through the realities of what they see. Christ Life School is offering 2 career pathways, that is social science and natural science STEM. So we have science laboratories, we have a computer lab, we have a library, and our environment is just quite conducive for learning and just for the learners to just interact amongst themselves. And one thing that you should know, and why Christ Life should be one of your destination for your child, is like Christ Life School has zero tolerance for bullying. We don't tolerate bullying at this school. That's why we teach our children to respect each other. We teach our children to love each other. That is why you are going to bring your child to this institution. Christ Life School has trained and licensed teachers by TCZ. So why should Christ Life School be the destination? Because of what I have mentioned. Like I said, we are not just focused on your child in the classroom. We are also focused on your child and their future. We prioritize the child. The child is our primary focus. So when you bring your child, this will be a safe space for them. This is a place where their life will be transformed. So let Christ Life School be the destination for your child.
Christ Life School, where my heart is trained. Hands, hope, all in His name. Hard work, now future on display. Excellence in every step I take.
Welcome back to our dear viewers to Light TV Zambia, and now we are going into what's trending in the community, in the community. Yeah, what's trending? What's there? And we're going to go into the news, and one of it is government launches health policy 2026 to 2030. Government has launched the National Health Policy 2026 to 2030 and its implementation plan aim at improving equitable access to quality health services, strengthening diseases surveillance, and enhancing data management system. Speaking during the launch in Lusaka, the health minister Alex Katakwe said the policy set out 28 objectives designed to address Zambians' disease burden, including HIV and AIDS, malaria, and tuberculosis. He said it also covers non-communicable diseases such as cancer, diabetes, and hypertension. Dr. Katakwe noted that under the previous 2013 National Health Policy, the country recorded improvement in maternal, neonatal, and infantile mortality rates, alongside better access to initial health services at all levels. He said increased budget allocation to the health sector have supported the recruitment of health workers and expansion of infrastructure through the Constituency Development Fund CDF. However, Dr. Katakwe said government cannot implement the policy alone and called for support from stakeholders, including the World Health Organization and the civil society organization. United Nations Population Fund Deputy Representative Anna Armstrong, leading a statement on behalf of the cooperating partners, and the launch reflects government commitment to improve quality healthcare delivery. Churches Health Association of Zambia, CHAZ Executive Director Karen Chishinga commended government for recruiting health workers while calling for more staffing in rural health facility. Lusaka Province Health Director Simuliamana Chonga said in a vote of thanks that the policy align with the World Health Organization and the health system building block aimed at strengthening the health sectors. This is a good policy that they're building.
Yes, this is a wonderful, actually, healthy policy that we are seeing that will start in this year, 2026
to 2030, yeah.
2030, where we are seeing that this policy actually to cover non-communicable disease such as cancer, diabetes, and hypertension. And this is a very nice policy for the way it has been said, it has been put into policy, and if implementation is done like the way it is actually stated here, we really appreciate the government for actually coming up with this initiative policy, which will actually
and also the issue of also making sure that they recruit more health workers in the rural sectors. Yes. I think it's high time also where us people from urban area, we swap people from that side have at least a feel of working in the urban area, and people from the urban area also have a feel to work also in the rural areas. And also they've talked about the facilities, of improving the facilities in the rural sectors. When you go to Jakuma rural areas, find that there's no ambulance. When a woman wants to go for antenatal, they want to give birth, they usually go with an ox chikochkara vijamona, and by the time they reach there, so they should at least improve in the health facilities and also transportation to the rural areas. That's a good implementation that they've just said.
Yes, that's a good implementation, seeing that in the health sector things are really changing, and this will actually help, especially a lot of people seeing what we are actually seeing. Yes, this is a very wonderful thing which we are actually seeing. Yes, this is a wonderful thing that we are actually seeing. Then the other thing we can look for is for immediate release. The Minister of Tourism Permanent Secretary arrives in Durban ahead of Africa Travel Indaba 2026. That was yesterday. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Tourism, Mr. Evans Muhanga, has arrived in Durban, South Africa ahead of the official opening of the 2026 Africa Travel Indaba, one of the continental premier tourism trade exhibition. Mr. Muhango is leading Zambia's delegation to the International Tourism Showcase, which brings together tourism stakeholders, investors, exhibit hosted by buyers, media practitioners from across the globe to promote Africa as a preferred tourism destination. Speaking upon arrival, Mr. Muhango said Zambia participation at the Indaba present an important opportunity to market the country's diverse tourism product, strengthen a partnership and attract investment into the tourism sector. Zambia remains committed to position itself as a competitive and sustainable tourism destination in Africa. Our participation at Africa Travel Indaba provide a strategic platform to showcase the country's rich natural heritage, culture, wildlife, and investment opportunity to the international market, said Mr. Muhango. The permanent secretary further noted that Zambia's presence at the Indaba aligned with government broader agenda of growing the tourism sector as a key drive of economic development, job creation, foreign exchange earning. During the event, the Zambian delegation is expected to engage in business-to-business meetings, destination marketing activities, and networking sessions aimed at enhancing the country's visibility on the global tourism market. Africa Travel Indaba is hosted annually in Durban, South Africa, and is regarded as one of the largest tourism market events on the African continental. This is wonderful, where we see in Durban, South Africa, where all the countries are actually meeting for this Indaba in tourism. This is a very wonderful program where we'll be able to see the Minister of Tourism actually attending this one and including his delegation. This is a very much very much good program where we'll be able to see at least a lot of change, especially in tourism. We know, Zambia is also we have a lot of places where it attracts a lot of tourists where they come. When we mention about Mosotunya, Victoria Falls, and some many other national parks that we have around here. So this is just a plus. Some of the things that will be linked this and they can be implemented.
And also we just say to the students have just gathered at the University Teaching Hospital, where we lost the students, from one from ICU and the other one from UNILAS, and today they are putting Chikumbi Edith from ICU. Yes, I think all I can just say to this is that may their soul rest in peace, and also and just an encouragement to our youths out there, saying let's take care of ourselves because life is precious. As we're driving, make sure let's not drive in the influence of alcohol, and also let's be mindful on the road on how we drive. Let's not overspeed. Let's not get too excited to speed. Yeah, that's what I can say to my fellow youths.
Yes, let's make sure we take caution as we are driving.
Yes.
Yes. For as you are watching us here on Light TV Morning, we are actually discussing a very interesting topic where we're talking about building a legacy. So what kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Those are the questions that we are asking the viewers. What kind of legacy do you want to leave behind? Send us your message, comment through our Facebook page and also on WhatsApp platform, or you can actually phone in this discussion on the lines that are actually scrolling on the screen, and would love actually to hear your comment, and we'll review your comment. And also if you have got a birthday, we'll be able to shout out especially to our mothers, and this is a very interesting topic that we are talking about. And behind every successful child is often often a praying mother, is often actually a praying mother. Behind every strong family is often a sacrificing woman. Today we are still saluting the single mothers and also working mothers, grandmothers, spiritual mothers, and also guardians, raising children with love, and especially our teachers. As
Yes.
we know, we are back to school. The
Yes,
children
yes,
are
true,
back
yeah.
to school, and also we celebrate also the teachers, actually some of the values that are actually raised in there. So would love maybe as even as we are going to the conclusion, building a family legacy. Would love to look at building a family legacy, the importance of values in family, raising children with purpose. Let's look at the importance of values in families. What's the importance of values in family, that people must have values that will actually leave a legacy in their family?
Okay, so I think the importance of values in the family, it's more like being on their own, being independent.
Yes.
When they're independent, you're valued. It shouldn't be a family that people say, don't do things like that one.
Yes.
People they should have values that people should be inspired of, saying, okay, in front of Karamanga family, our church, our president, before he became a president,
Yes.
he was still the richest person in Zambia. You have seen.
Yeah,
So he had built a legacy. People used to laugh. A lot of people are still laughing at him in the what? On social media, saying, Kachema wa ng'ombe. But look at what he has done.
Yeah, it's true.
It's very valuable. That cows, they're helping a lot of people. Yes. So people should have value that when people sees us out, people from outside should be able to get something and learn from something. And when you have put your values, and those people, they won't be talking to your family anyhow. You won't be a family that will be given for bad examples, negative examples. No, you'll be a family of legacy, family that will leave something to the community. Say, in the village, our parents used to say, no, don't go to that family. You see, don't play with those children, but they have bad conduct. You see, no, you see, because they've seen value in that family, so they will encourage you to go to that family because they've seen a value to a certain family. Say, okay, this family, when you leave our child to this family, at least our child will get something valuable, something very positive.
Yes, I think values are very much important, especially in families. When we look at different families, especially when we look at maybe from countries, we see the Indians, they have got values also in their family. One of their values in India is business mindset, where we see integrity. Those are some of the values that they have. So it's so interesting that when you look at India, and even some of the movies we watch, you find that the Indians themselves, with their family, even the extended family, they all live together in one house.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
They all live together in one house, and all the values that they have, they actually teach it in their children. Discipline, like we talked about, time management and everything. So it's easy for you. Even it's more like a community in the house. Inside the house, there's a community where they're able to raise their children. So it's very much important. Also, when we look at the Jews, we see even the Jews, they have got those values whereby we see the Jews, the way they are raised up and how intelligent they are. They have got raised, they have got all those values. So even us, when we come to back here in Africa, even in Zambia particularly, it's very important for families to have values, especially values of integrity, maybe values of faith-driven. Yes, family of integrity, faith-driven. Those values will actually help us to shape our children, because we need to raise our children with purpose. And raising our children with purpose, it begins with the values. It begins with the values that we mentioned earlier on. We talked about character, we talked about consistent. All those values are actually need to be actually to be taught, especially in the children, so that they may grow up with those values and they keep them.
Yeah.
Yes, yes. So it's very important for us to be able to do that, and especially when we look at the law of fathers and mothers in shaping children. You know, there are also the laws of the fathers and mothers in shaping
the
yes, the
child's
children in
behavior.
generation. Yes, especially in behavior. So it's up to us parents how actually we want our children to look like. Yes. So
Yeah, so like on the shaping of the child, I remember there was a time we had the camp meeting. So we had the camp meeting. When you go for a camp meeting, you find that children, they have their children's chapel.
yes.
Yes, so you find that some parents would come and complain, no, my child is praying, why are you leaving children are just running all over? Say, you have seen the other children that are seated here. I think from there you should get an example that these children that are seated here were well trained by their parents. Their parents take a good role in mentoring them, saying when it's time for business, there's time for everything.
Yes.
When it's time to learn, time to learn. When it's time to go and pray, it's time to go and pray. When it's time to write something or time to dance, we have to be moving together. So when a parent trains a child to maintain times, to consider time, say there's time for everything, then that child will grow up in a good way, because they would know, oh, in time you're reading a Bible, this is time for devotion, in time you're reading, oh, in time you're gonna, in time you tamba TV. When the child knows that, that child do not go astray, will grow up in a good way. Yeah.
And
Because most of the parents my camp meeting used to come and shout to me, so you're not doing a good job. What do you even teach these children? I said, I'm not teaching them here. I'm not the one who's teaching how to behave. But me, my job is when you bring your child, it's more like when you take a child to school. The job of the teacher is not to start telling the child, say, this is how you're supposed to behave. No, that's your job as a parent at home.
Yes, yeah.
The child, when it comes at school, the only thing the teacher is supposed to do is, okay, today we're going to learn about sociology. This is what we're going to learn about. You know, they teach something like that. That's the job of the teacher. But when you leave everything to the teacher, and it will become difficult for the teacher to install discipline in the child, when we have already talked about discipline. So as a mother and as a father, we have a role to play to make sure that our children are well brought up, are well mentored. Even if, as they go out there, they will present the home they're coming from. We say child begins at home. A child behavior in a public determines how you have raised them. There was a time I was just moving road, like I bought some bananas when I was in the bus. Then this child started crying for the bananas. Then I gave the baby the banana. Then the mother was upset, something like that. So I was like, there's no need of you getting upset. This is a child. You didn't teach the child the right way. Child begins at home. You need to tell the children, say, no, where we are going here, I don't want you to behave this and that. You start from home, where you are going, say, when we go this side, don't behave this and that. That's how we start mentoring children. That's how you learn. We don't even know, even if they want to ask, they will say, mommy said, I should not do this. I should not be begging people's food in society. You start from home. So, mothers and to our fathers that are watching us there, you have all the powers to bring up a productive, a God-fearing, and a well-mentored child that will inspire people in the community.
Yeah, that's true. You know, building a legacy actually begins at home. It doesn't begin anywhere else, not even in school, not even anywhere. It begins at home. Just like people say charity begins at home.
Yeah.
So even building a legacy also begins at home. So would love, even as we are concluding, just to look at just in a few minutes about spiritual legacy. What spiritual legacy are you leaving, you as a parent? You know, some people leave buildings. They
Yes.
just leave buildings.
Yes.
They live in they leave buildings. Some leave businesses. But the greatest legacy you can leave for your children is spiritual impact.
Yes.
It's the spiritual impact. So a spiritual legacy includes, number one, teaching godly values.
Yes.
Teaching godly values. What kind of godly values are you teaching your children? Because as your children, they are growing up, you need to understand that there are predators outside there. So you need to make make sure that you nurture them very well. You teach them godly values. You don't just leave them. No, they will learn them at church. No, they will learn them. No, have devotion in the morning with your children. Sit down with your children. Explain the Bible the way you understand. You may not be a pastor. You may not be a priest.
True.
But you need to understand that every father in the house is a priest of that house. Before even any, or maybe any church you go to, you yourself, over your family as a father, you are a priest of that house. So you need to make sure that you teach them godly values. Your children learn godly values. Some of us, how we became born again and how disciplined we are today, you know, it's because of our mothers. Like for me, the one who taught me how to actually pray, who taught me about the things of God, it was my mother. Because, you know, there was one time, you know, I'd spent actually 4 years without going to church.
Oh.
Yes, I stayed for 4 years without going to church. I had my own personal reasons, and those some of my personal reasons is because I didn't believe that going to church actually is the only way to worship. In my mind, the way I used to think is that I can even be at home, I can pray. God can still answer prayers. Why should I go at home? You know, one of the scripture that I misinterpreted was that scripture where it says, where 2 or 3 are gathered in my name, I'm there in the middle. So I used to take that scripture and say, I am here, God is here. So why do I have, yes, where 2 or 3 are gathered, I'm there in the middle. So I would say, I am here, even God now is here. Why should I go to church? So you see, so I used to refuse to, especially for me to go to church. I stayed for 4 years without going to church, but it took my mother who actually taught me that the importance of me going to church. Because the first day that I started going to church after for 4 years, I wasn't going to any church because of my personal reasons. I used to think there are no pastors. I used to think there are no pastors there. I don't have to go to church. These things are false because all these things are. But I don't know where I got that knowledge, but it was just in me, like I shouldn't do this, until, because the first day that my mother actually invited me to go to church, when I went to church, when I came back, you know what happened? I had a very terrible dream. I had a very terrible dream. I had a nightmare, so I couldn't sleep that night. I even told my mother, you see, I've said I mentioned it that when I go to church, these are false.
This will happen.
Hey, this will happen.
You know,
hey, shall you see?
The devil always make a way to convince you that this is not a good thing. The devil always put something just to make sure this thing is not workable. And so we need to be children of integrity, children that to fear, who follow the pathway of Christ. And when Christ say, I'm the way, the truth, and the life, whoever wants to go to my Father have to pass through me. So we need to live the legacy of Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ left a legacy for us that we should follow as Christians, that will help us to inherit the kingdom of heaven. So parents, let's train out our children to follow Christ's life. The way Christ used to live, let's our children just follow that. Let's help people. Jesus used to help people. Jesus used to heal people. Jesus used to go to worship. Jesus used to be friend to everyone. Jesus used to respect people. So these are things that we should teach our children, that we need to respect people. Jesus used to respect people's culture. Also, yes. So these are things that we need to prepare our children. Say that we have different cultures. Whenever we see about people's culture, let's not laugh at them, because that's what they believe in. We should respect it. So So parents out there that are watching us, we pray that you train the children in the right way. More especially, the first legacy that you should leave in the children is the spiritual legacy. That the children, because even if you did not leave wealth to your children, you did not leave a building to your children, but you have left a spiritual legacy to your children, those children will never suffer, because there will be God's guidance, there will be God's guiding them, protecting them, blessing them to the greatest way of their lives.
Yeah, that's very true. Let's make sure we do that, yes, because it will really help, especially the children. You know, especially mothers, they have got a very big role in impacting the children in a spiritual, especially in their spiritual life, especially to mothers, because mothers, when they pray, God answers more than even husbands. Just joking. Yes. Thank you so much for watching our Light TV morning breakfast show. This brings us to the end. Today we were discussing a very interesting topic where we were talking about building a legacy that outlive you. Even as we were reflecting on the Mother's Day that actually happened on Sunday, and we are also emphasizing to all the parents, whether father, mother, to ensure that we leave a legacy in our children, teaching them values, teaching them the things that we want actually our children to know, especially who you want your child to be. It takes up to you as a parent to teach them. Let's make sure that we teach them the right way, and the children will actually grow in it and they will not depart to it. I have been your host for today on the morning breakfast show, Shepherd Mulenga, and also my co-host
Mike Mwanza.
Yes, thank you so much for watching. We actually encourage you to stay tuned in for other interesting programs that follow.